the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So first things first, I want to say hello and welcome to the RDT family. I have quite a few brand new subscribers. Over the past 2 or 3 months, I've really gained close to 3,000 new subscribers, but I'm excited to have you here. So sit back and relax, get yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So all over my news feed today, all you see is poor Harry, poor Meghan. They were so mistreated by the royals. They were booed and they were at home with the sourpuss look on their face. They're so glum. They're so sad. And look, I tried to find my sympathy, but apparently I lost it 2 years ago. I really do believe not kicking people when they're down. You guys attacked your family. And now when you go back to the UK, you expect to be welcomed with open arms, which they were to a certain extent, and then expect people to make special treatment for you and act like nothing happened. And now that you have to go back and face your consequences, you're going to sit there with a sad look on your face and want people to feel sorry for you. You know who I feel sorry for? The Queen, who was sitting there while her husband was on his deathbed while you were trashing the family on global television. You know who I feel sorry for? Your big brother William, who's always been there for you, who's always looked out for you, who went through the same thing of losing his mother just like you did, but yet he has to choose a life of service himself. 11 plus years, him and his wife dedicating themselves to the royal family. You know who else I feel sorry for? Your father, Charles. The man isn't perfect. He has been villainized for having an affair. The man was guilty of falling in love with Camilla and being forced to marry a woman he didn't want to marry. He followed the duty that was asked of him. Unfortunately, that was just not a marriage made in heaven. And now he's happy with the woman he's always wanted to be with. I can't hate a man for that. I can't fault Charles for being true to himself and loving the woman he loves. I don't have a problem with Charles. The man has earned his dues. He's going to be the future king. I think he's doing a good job as a Prince of Wales. The adorable photos of him and Prince Louis was heartwarming to see Pop and little boy Louis. I loved it. It was so sweet to see him as just a grandfather, not a king, not a prince, just a normal family. You know, people are saying, oh, they're not a family, they're an institution, they're toxic. No, they're a real family. You could see at the Platinum Jubilee how they all interacted with each other, the love between the Cambridges and their children, and Charles, Camilla, along with Zara and her husband and their kids, as well as Princess Anne, Princess Eugenie, and Beatrice, the Wessexes. You could see all of the family dynamics together. But it does look like after Princess Diana passed away that Charles, as well as the Queen and Philip, all tried to step up for the boys and make them have more of a loving home. So the fact that Harry has turned around and thumbed his middle finger up at them while his grandfather was clinging to his life is disgusting. I'm sorry, but there's no excuse for that, and I don't have a lot of sympathy. Not only did he say horrible things about his family, they straight up lied, continuously lied, and they continue to lie and deceive. So that is why I don't have a lot of sympathy for Harry and Meghan. So all of these stories, oh, poor Harry, he's so downtrodden. Well, what did he expect? Did he expect the royal treatment, the red carpet? I think he was finally realizing this is my new reality. I'm in the tier 2 royals. And honestly, he's 6th in line to the throne. He was seated where he needed to be seated. He's not, in line of succession. He's number 6. And pretty soon he'll be moved down to like 8th, 9th, and 10th. We have 3 heirs already. So honestly, him sitting with the Wessexes and Princess Eugenie and Beatrice and her husband is technically where he should have been sitting. So I don't know why he was such a sourpuss in the church. Again, he's used to being very elevated. And him and Meghan, when they were working royals, they of course were sitting more with the Cambridges and with Charles and Camilla. But again, he stepped away from that, so now he is sitting in his rightful place. So I believe that Harry and Meghan have definitely been dealt some royal realities this weekend. I think they finally had to face the music, had to face their consequences of their actions, because as I said before, they blamed the media. They had their PR firm just go and squash, the fire and put out a really pretty fluff piece about us, and people would believe it, and everything is fine. But when you get booed from the public and the people who are your peers and your family give you the cold shoulder, it's kind of a different story. Now, there are rumors that, of course, Harry wants to extend the olive branch to his brother, and I'm sure he probably does. The problem is, once you hurt people and you break their trust, it is really hard to get it back. And I can tell from my personal opinion and observation from the body language between William and Harry, the reason why William looks so upset is because he loves his brother and he's deeply hurt. When someone you love and is very close to you hurts you, it is such a hard thing to heal. It's not like some flippant person you don't care about, but when it's your family and someone you love and you have a rift, that's painful. That is a hurt that cuts deep, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to heal. The problem is, they live far apart. He has his wife Meghan probably talking in his ear, constantly manipulating the situation. Continued to go on talk shows and podcasts and trash his family. And of course, now they have this quote-unquote Netflix docu-series that's happening and his memoir. So, of course, the family is not going to trust him and Meghan. They're going to steer clear from them. But also, they were extremely busy. It was the Platinum Jubilee weekend. This was not the weekend for a family reunion, for you to show up with your children and be like, okay, here are the kids. Come sit at our feet and greet us. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have a birthday party for Lily. And then we want to have a christening. And just make sure you clear your calendar and come over and pay attention to us. First of all, nobody had time for that, okay? Second of all, you haven't been a part of their lives for over a year. The last time you've even been with them in person was for your grandfather's funeral. A fake PR story about, they Zoom every weekend with the Queen, and he talks to William and Kate. Well, clearly by their body language, that's not true. Maybe the Queen, but definitely not the Cambridges. You can tell on the face of William and Kate how much pain. Kate was upset about Meghan because Meghan told her a lot of nasty things on national television. I mean, how horrible. Someone says something about you on national television and you can't defend yourself. Kate has never come back and said anything that Meghan said about her. What an evil thing to do. And Meghan knows that she can't counteract her. So people believe the lies that Meghan told about Kate, and Kate had to sit there and take it. So you can tell when William was sitting next to her and he's telling her it's going to be okay, she was visibly upset. Like, could you imagine having to refrain yourself from going up to someone and be like, hey, I got something to say to you, honey. Let's let the record straight. But no, Kate has had to be a dignified woman because she is a duchess and a future queen. She has to let those kind of comments just roll off the side. But that's a dirty trick. You go on TV and you say things and no one is going to fight back. Right? That's nasty. Okay? And then you play the victim. Oh, they're so mean to me. And then you spread all these lies. Let's not forget, Meghan is still being sued by her own sister, Samantha Markle, after she lied to the authors of Finding Freedom. She's still being sued for telling untruths. So they wonder why when they release a photo of their daughter, nobody believes it's her. There's a lot of conspiracies now about the picture of Lilibet. I'm sorry, I do believe it's their daughter. However, everything about them and their children is just bizarre. Everything about Harry and Meghan is just bizarre. They're literally using their daughter for PR. Literally, she is a PR fluff piece. That's pretty sad. If you want to stay out of the limelight and you don't want your children to be in the limelight, that's fine. Don't put them in the limelight. We don't need to see Lilibet or Archie. I don't need to see them. My life is complete. Please live in privacy. But when you constantly, oh, you can't see my kids, but by the way, I'm going to do a press release on our first birthday, and here's a write-up in People, and here's a photograph right after the Queen's Jubilee, right after we got booed, we're going to put some positive pieces out there. Oh, and by the way, $100,000 was raised in her behalf. I'm sorry, but that was a PR stunt. First of all, they didn't need to have a first birthday party for Lilibet at Frogmore Cottage because, one, it's the Platinum Jubilee weekend. No one is going to be available to come. Two, 1-year-olds don't even know what's going on. You get them a smash cake and you call it a day. They could have done that back in Monteshitshow. Why do they feel the need to do it at Frogmore Cottage when none of their family could attend? That's bizarre. And then they release a photograph. What was the point of that? You want to be private, you want to keep your kids private, you're so worried about your security, then why share it? Why have it in People magazine? Why have your spokesperson on record giving a quote, sharing, oh, by the way, they raised money for charity, isn't that sweet? Oh, and here's the special cake they had made, and oh, and here's a photo. Why? Just keep it to yourself. We didn't need to know about the birthday. There are many, many celebrities who never share anything about their children. Never. So why did we need to see Lilibet? You never really shared that about Archie, and now you're doing it about Lilibet. And then my other question is, why wasn't there a family photo of the four of them, of Archie and Harry and Meghan as a family unit? Why was it just one photo of Lilibet and then this weird black and white photo of Meghan and her friend? Again, she's like obsessed with this weird black and white. Just like we got the back of Archie's head for his, second or third birthday in black and white. It literally looked like one of those photos you get when you buy a frame. It didn't even look like a real photo. I'm like, what was the point of looking at his head? What was that? Just say happy birthday, Archie, with a balloon. We don't even need to see the black and white photo of a child's head. That was so comical to me. I was like, is this supposed to make us like swoon or something? Like, does she think that we're just waiting around for a photo and our lives are just not complete? Maybe next year we'll get a foot. Ooh, maybe next year we'll get the back of Lilibet's head. Maybe the two of them will be standing about 100 million feet away and we'll get to see the back of their heads. That will be an exciting photo. So the timing and the birthday party and the release of the photo are all very suspect. Now, I know it was her first birthday. I don't feel like it was something that needed to be done. But again, I think she's been waiting all year, maybe for the money shot. I bet you anything they got paid to release this photograph to the press. But I also feel like they were a little bit jealous of the attention that the Cambridge children and the other children had received through the Platinum Jubilee. Because nobody knows who Archie is, nobody knows who Lilibet is, because they don't share them, because they want to keep it private. But then other people's kids are constantly getting attention. So now they're like, well, wait a minute, here's Lilibet. I want y'all to swoon over my daughter now. So it's kind of like, I think she was a little jealous, but it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You kind of got to make up your mind. Are you in? Are you out? Are you in? Are you out? They're very, very contradictory of who they are, and what they do. And again, I'm going to say it here, I believe there is trouble in paradise. All that clutching and hand-holding and the fake little kisses, it's a very forced affection. But then again, they are two peas in a pod, and they're kind of on an island all by themselves because Megsy made sure to burn all of the bridges and the boats. So poor little Harry, he's kind of stuck in Montecito right now. He doesn't have many places to go, and I really don't see them returning to the UK. I really don't, because there's nothing left for them. He has burned all the bridges. He doesn't have a relationship with his family, And now he realizes the people of the UK don't want him, and the peers and his extended family have given him the cold shoulder. So now the only thing that they have are their deals that are literally shambling and falling to pieces. I have a friend who works in the entertainment industry, and she let me in on a little scoop. Netflix isn't doing well, and there's a rumor that they could get bought out by Disney. So in my opinion, all of those really expensive deals that are on the table that aren't producing, there could be more cuts ahead. Now they do have the Heart of Invictus that has definitely been green lighted, but this new docu-series that they're doing, it's like Harry has to make a decision. Does he want to make millions of dollars, or does he want to have his family? Millions of dollars or a relationship with your family, meaning your father, your brother, your grandmother, your extended family, or do you want to have a salacious memoir or a salacious docu-series to make your wife happy? Which is it? You're going to have to pick because you're not going to be able to have both. So now he has a lot of stress on his shoulders because his publishers, rumor has it, has asked for a rewrite because he's trying to pacify us with, it's not about the prince I was born, it's about the man I've become. And I'm like, you might have to rewrite that, son. Not that great. What are the lessons you learned? Are you going to talk about your job at Better Up and what you've learned there as a life coach? How you coach Serena Williams? I mean, I don't think anyone's going to buy that. It's supposed to be a non-fiction book, right? He has to rewrite this book to make the publishers happy because people don't just throw $10 million at you because you are a prince. You got to produce the goods. And we're talking 2.5 years since Megxit, and their shelf life is reaching expiration. They're starting to stink. They're not fresh anymore. They're yesterday's old news. And let me tell you, what happened to them in the UK doesn't look good. People are looking at them like, oh, people didn't even want them there. They're not getting the sympathy that they think that they're drumming up. Yes, there's still a lot of people, the people who don't know a lot about the royals, the people who don't know the history, who feel bad for Harry and Meghan because they think they're being bullied and that they're victims. You know, people in Hollywood are observing that they're not hot anymore. They're getting booed by crowds of people. That's not a good look. So people aren't going to be interested in signing and giving them 10, 20, 30 millions of dollars for deals. Spotify is holding on by a thread. And the rumor is now Spotify wants Meghan to produce the goods, talk about her life in the royal family. Everyone wants to get in on the salacious drama because drama sells, and without the drama selling, without them, selling out the royal family and using their titles, they don't have anything else to offer. Harry has that dilemma. Do I sell out my family for millions of dollars, or do I get rid of this project and make up with my family? And again, they chose to walk away from the royal family for their financial freedom, and now 2.5 years later, it's all falling apart. So what do you guys think? Do you think they used their daughter Lilibet as a PR stunt? Do you think that Harry is going to write a salacious memoir and continue to sell out his family? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, and make sure you check me out on my other social media accounts. Thanks, guys.